Dirty Sports, episode 860, live on YouTube in 5, 4, 3. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Lake Tahoe, Nevada/California. I don't know, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andrew. I'm on the Nevada side currently.
Okay.
So currently the Nevada side of Lake Tahoe, Nevada. I think that's how it's pronounced. Yeah, they're weird about how you pronounce. They really don't want you to call it Nevada.
No, I learned that living there. They definitely are very particular. Kind of like I used to get chatted by Shaboring on Gonzaga.
Yeah,
I think it's Zags.
Those uppity Seattle folks.
Yeah. So a little road trip for you up north.
A little road trip. You know me. You know I love the greater Lake Tahoe area. Hung out with your boy Damo yesterday. Let's do a shout out to Damo, who listens to us as he goes to sleep. So he just heard his name as he's dozing off in his bed.
Weird move, by the way.
Yeah. Weird move to listen to the Dirty Sports Podcast as you sleep.
Yeah. Also, I wonder how that affects your sleep rhythm or your dreams. Or
he said he's had dreams with our voices in it. I said you probably have a lot of dreams about Derek Jeter being overrated.
That's unbelievable.
But we had a great day out on Damo's boat yesterday. Up here with good friend of the show, Andy Lazarus, just, kicking around. We had a boat day. We had a beach day. We had a couple casino nights, back-to-back nights. Me coming home with wins from the casino.
What type of wins? Give me some details.
Sat down with $100 last night. Came home with $1,200.
Wow, you had a nice little ROI on that.
Yeah, night before sat down with $200, came home with $950.
What are you playing to win this?
Lake Tahoe can't wait to get rid of me. I came here to fucking chew bubble gum and win blackjack hands, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
So what are you playing when you win?
Honestly, just blackjack. We've just been playing blackjack. Laz's girl, we taught her blackjack night one. And so we're just kind of team blackjacking, which is strange for me because I kind of gave up blackjack years ago. Usually I'm a poker guy at the casino these days, but it was like fuck around weekend, and sorry about it. Sorry I had to take a couple $1,000s off you guys.
You want to hear a fun Andy Ruther fact? I've played blackjack at a casino once in my life.
How's that possible? You lived in Vegas.
I just didn't care. I didn't gamble. The only time I played blackjack when I lived there, it wasn't even when I lived there. I went for a bachelor party with buddies. I've never played poker once gambling at a casino.
It's wild.
Yeah. The cards.
You just sports bet basically.
Yeah. But even that, you know me, I'm such a casual sports bet. Like I'll do it, but yeah, gambling has never done it for me. It's fine. Like I'm not against it, of course. I'm all for it, but I know people who get that gambling rush and they get that gambling high. It's just, I don't know. Like when I lived there, it was more just partying for me.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Yeah.
It's exciting. You're around people, you're in a casino, the energy's great, or it can be depressing as all hell.
Oh yeah. Weekends here, Friday, Saturday, it's wild out at the casinos. Sunday, last night, it was like, oh boy, it was not. In one day, it turned very dark. But for us, we found a nice little table and we went on a little heater.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
We were texting last night, you and Randy Ruther.
That's right.
Texting about that preseason Giants-Bengals game. And I've read a lot on that hit. So it's Randy Moss's son, who I think is a third string tight end right now for the Bengals, Thaddeus Moss, the low block on your number 5 pick. Is that correct?
I believe that's correct.
Kayvon Thibodeau. Is that his name? Am I pronouncing that correct? Is that accurate? Did I lose Joe? Joe's just sitting there. He's just paused. We're going to go with the name Kayvon Thibodeau. Anyway, it was a low block on him. And there's a lot of opinions whether it was a dirty block, a fair block within the rules. I'm unsure as I watch it. I watched it a million times. I don't even know anymore what NFL rules are. Joe is completely frozen. Joe has no take on this. We have technical difficulties in Lake Tahoe. Where is Joe? He's gone. He's gone, people. You're stuck with me. You guys get me for the next 65 minutes. Let me text Joe and see what's going on here for our YouTube crowd. Oh, looks like he's coming back.
I have no idea what happened there. Did you lose me?
Yeah, you just froze.
Yeah, and I could hear you saying I was frozen, and then my Zoom just closed, and then it reopened.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Let's hope it doesn't happen again. Yeah.
Yeah, so I brought up the block, and I was saying, like, I've watched it a million times, and I've seen a million different reactions. Some people, former, current, present, whatever players, everybody, like, it's such a mixed bag of clean, not clean, under the rules, cheap, dirty, blah, blah, blah.
Seems like, and this was what I said to Randy the other night, but it's like, man, preseason game, at this point we're out there, the foam helmets on and practice and stuff like that. It felt weird to just kind of dive at a guy's knees in preseason. I mean, if that had been, if they're running a trap play on 4th and 2 to try to hold on to the ball in the Super Bowl with 2 minutes left, maybe it's not as big a deal. But it felt really weird just even seeing the replay that everybody's kind of going, 85% speed in preseason, and this guy comes and almost in slow motion kind of just like dives at somebody's knees. Felt very weird.
Well, for me, I don't know the rules anymore. And also the NFL has made they've made such an effort to really control the head hits and the head blows, right?
Right.
While conversely, the knee stuff, in my opinion, gets worse, which to me is just as important. Protecting guys' knees, protecting their, soft spots there for shredding ligaments and tendons and everything. I just don't.
And to me, it does feel like, the across the, the receiver, the unprotected receiver or whatever getting lit up in the head, or the quarterback, taking a shot to the face is one thing. But for generally every single other position on the field and every other like engagement combo, protecting those guys' knees seems way more valuable. Like, you don't hear a lot of offensive linemen like, oh man, got concussed. It's like, I got chopped and now I'm out for fucking the rest of the year.
Yeah, no, you're right. They definitely protect the skill players more because they're the sexy players. They're the marketing type of guys that bring in the money. But the same token, yeah, you have to protect these guys. There's no game. If you don't have guys to protect your skill players, then you don't have a game and you don't have the excitement. They definitely have to modify it but I don't know what it is. Obviously, everything happens so quickly.
Yeah.
This one, it looked like he hesitated and then he went it looked like he was almost unsure.
Yeah.
Of what to do.
It seemed like it seems like he almost was avoiding contact too.
Yeah.
It was like, you're coming down, you're kind of pulling across. All right, well, this is the name of the game. You're just gonna have to go head to head with this dude.
Sure.
Pun intended. Instead, you went head to knee with this dude. Classic Randy Ruther, Bengals dirtiness. Randy already down a case of our glorious Miller Lite to me after betting me that Joe Burrow would be in the top 7 on the NFL's 100 greatest players. He came in at 21.
That was a reckless bet. So just explain that, because
that was a reckless bet.
He texted me on the side. So I guess the NFL Network does their top 100 players. So this is nothing, this is opinion based, right? Yeah. And he thought they'd have Burrow in the top 7. I also thought that was reckless. I think Burrow is right now a top 5 quarterback for sure. But to have him in the top 7 of the entire league overall.
Reckless Randy. That's what we call him.
So he bet you a case of Miller Lite on that.
Reckless Randy Ruther. Yeah, but we've got a couple Miller Lite cases bet over the course of the year. So I'm looking.
You got a Joe Mixon versus
Saquon bet, which I didn't throw out there, but he made that bet when he was on the Sports Gambling Podcast with our friends over at that show. One of their hosts is a Giants fan. They made a Saquon Mixon bet. And I said, yeah, I'll tap into that action. I'm down to put a little Miller Lite on a Saquon Barkley bounce back year.
So Burrow comes in at 21, at least. Again, I don't even know who's ranking this. If it's analysts, players, whoever it is, I wonder what quarterbacks were ahead of him. Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay. I mean, we can assume
Rodgers, Mahomes, Allen.
Probably Brady.
Maybe Herbert, maybe not. Maybe your boy Russ. Maybe not.
No, you can't put Russ above him right now. Come on.
Oh, listen. The only reason I would even say that is because I'm of the opinion that Russell Wilson, great quarterback, universally overrated. So
I can't stop saying, I'm just saying it to myself now. Broncos country, let's ride. I can't stop saying it. I was doing it this morning. It's too catchy.
And then you sent the Broncos country, let's ride 9/11 meme, and I was like, this is a meme made for Andy Ruther. This is like an AI generated Andy Ruther meme.
Some dirtball sent this to me. So somebody made a video of, I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh, but it's so ridiculous. It's hilarious. It's the planes crashing into the Twin Towers in the background. And it's the video and also the audio. That's basically the green screen is the planes crashing into the Twin Towers. And it's the video of Russell Wilson.
Let's ride.
Of Russell, and he just keeps doing it.
And I've seen a lot of these memes lately, where somebody puts some weird shit into AI and they show you what came out. And I feel like that's Andy Ruther, dirty sports hot takes in one meme into AI. And it's Russell Wilson doing Let's Ride in front of the 9/11 attacks.
We haven't had many Andy Ruther did 9/11 in a long time.
No.
That was He Who Shall Not Be Named.
Oh, he coined that phrase.
Yeah.
Well, I was always a fan until he started sucking off the government's teat and refused to pay us our money.
That was just you.
Yeah, but it's still the Dirty Sports we.
Sure, I feel you.
The Dirty Sports podcast.
Well, we had some exciting news on Saturday night. I think it's exciting. It's wild. I still don't believe it, about Tom Brady and Gronk almost going to the Raiders.
Would have been so nice. Would have been such a Darth Vader move.
I guess Gronk and his entire family does a UFC Gronkcast.
Right. Gronkcast.
It's all him and his meathead brothers, and I think his dad. I didn't watch anything of it, but it's basically the Manning cast, but the Gronk cast.
And basically, these are all the Dirty Sports Rabble casts. I mean, let's be honest. We did change sports television forever.
I mean, it is crazy.
And like many of the things over the course of my career, just ahead of our time. It
is crazy that we were doing this 6 years prior to all this happening. So he's on this platform.
Let me guess. Gronk did the UFC thing for 24 hours and drank as much booze. Yeah, we've been there, done this, guys.
So he has Dana White on, and Dana White talks about the greatest deal that fell through. I'm gonna play the clip.
It's still there. You would have
You
signed
would have
again.
been. You would have been. So
I would have been.
I'm the one. I worked to put that deal together for Brady and Gronk to come to the Raiders, and it was almost a done deal. And at the last minute, Gruden blew the deal up and said that he didn't want him. And all hell broke loose, man. It was crazy. And Brady was already looking at houses, and it wasn't being said yet that Gronk was coming. So Las Vegas would have had Brady and Gronk the year that the Bucs won the Super Bowl, except Gruden blew the deal up. And there's so much story that goes along with this behind the scenes. And I was never going to tell that story till Gronk just said it, but yeah.
And Dana,
let me tell you what, Brady
exactly
was
what
not
happened,
happy.
and you just told the story. That is exactly what happened. Wow.
Breaking news. UFC 278 with the Gronk. John Gruden screwed up. Tom Brady going to the
It
Raiders.
worked out for the best, and I'm glad it did not go through.
Really?
Yes, I am glad it did not
So
go
you
through.
say if he was the Raiders, that wouldn't have won a Super Bowl?
Yes, no, I mean, it all worked out for the best, man. I'm
Okay.
glad we went to Tampa, man.
That's true. You think there's any exaggeration here? It sounds like it's pretty accurate.
I mean, it sounds like it's pretty accurate, but also how many teams were they on the verge of like it? Every team in the NFL now has a story about Tom Brady having a pen in his hand prepared to fucking sign a contract with them when at the last minute Brady's like, which are these pens? He's like, this through door number 1 is the Dolphins. Through door number 2 is back to the Patriots. Through door number 3 is Raiders. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to close my eyes and walk through a door. Every fucking story. It's like, also, I could just hear John Gruden being like, I like Gronk. He's a grinder. But Brady, this guy, always screaming at the refs every time somebody hits him in the face. Come on, man. You got to toughen up. You got to be more of a grinder. Just bloodletting babies and drinking their blood. That's not what a grinder does.
Well, that's the crazy part. Does Gruden not really want Brady?
Who fucking knows?
I mean that's kind of lunacy to me. If you could have Brady, if you could have had that for a year, Brady and Gronk, and you're obviously an offensive-minded coach, I don't understand why he would go with Derek Carr. Not that Carr's bad, but I just don't know why you wouldn't do that.
That's why I'm like, is it? And Dana White did the deal. What the fuck does Dana White have to do with anything?
He's like Mr. Las Vegas.
Yeah. So now he's the Raiders GM.
We've seen the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders owner gets a $7 haircut at Supercuts. I'm just saying. Not that there's anything wrong with that,
Right?
Because we all know that's what
I don't know. It just seems, was he closer to signing with the Dolphins or was he closer to signing with the Raiders? Did he almost go back to the Patriots?
Yeah, but I think
he ended up with the fucking Bucs in the end.
I know, but hold on. Well, the Dolphins would have been this year. I don't think the Dolphins was back then, right? I think the
Dolphins was back then.
I thought back then when he get it down to like the Patriots, the Chargers. Because the Chargers were real close because of the LA thing.
And apparently the Raiders. That's what I'm saying.
Where's he been? He's back at camp today.
Who, Brady?
Do you put anything into this Masked Singer theory? Have you seen this?
No. What's the Masked Singer theory? No.
Brady's been gone from camp for about 15 days. No, about 10 days. Personal reasons. Somebody spread something on Reddit and it's just caught. And now like mainstream is talking about it. There's a theory that Tom Brady's been gone away from the Bucs camp. Again, it was personal reasons that he was filming the Masked Singer.
Wild.
Which is a wild thing if it is true.
It's a wild reason to miss training camp.
Right?
Yeah.
The Masked Singer. Like at this point in Brady's career, Can he just do what he wants and do that?
I have no fucking idea.
I'm shocked you haven't seen that.
All I can think about, I know it's cliche, but like, imagine if there was rumors out there that like Odell missed camp to be the Masked Singer. Be a lot of wraparound sunglasses and trucks, hot takes happening.
I mean, this is like mainstream. We have obviously the gossip sites are reporting this, but mainstream sites are reporting this. I was reading stuff today on like the Wall Street Journal. Like
I watched exactly 5 minutes of the Masked Singer. I think it was after the Niners Chiefs Super Bowl when they like debuted the show. And like somebody just didn't turn off the fucking game.
TV, yeah.
Otherwise, like, are people watching this?
Oh yeah. Dude, our country watches the worst fucking shows. I live with somebody who does.
You live with somebody who watches The Masked Singer?
No, watches awful shows.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know. I'm not. Look,
shots fired across the new Andy Ruther complex.
I'm just saying, like, dude, I tell her this all the time. Like, Love Island, the Real Housewives, I just don't. I'm gonna come across like an asshole, but I'm gonna say it. Like these people on these shows.
These people. Okay, I'm just kidding.
They have zero depth or interest. Like she watches Southern Charmed, and I'm like, okay, so it's rich people from the South, and I don't watch it. It's on the background, right? And my thing always is, what is interesting about these people? You were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You've done nothing to be interesting. Like, what's the level of it? I want somebody who maybe had to battle some things. There's some depth to them. Like, there's no depth to this. And I guess people say, well, that's why I watch it. But I'm like, they're boring. There's nothing interesting about a dude wearing a fucking bow tie in Charleston, South Carolina, who grew up with family money. You're a douche. In fact, I would go as far to say every single person that I've seen on Southern Charmed, I want to punch in the face. Let me tell you how I really feel, Joe Prano.
Well, at least we know what side of the Civil War Ruther was on. He's like, Ohio is kind of weird, but I'm coming in. I'm punching Southerners.
I mean, it's like it's all these Andy Cohen shows. It's shitty TV. Put on a nature show. Put on a show where you learn something. Put on the Smithsonian Channel. Learn some shit. Put on a good drama. I don't know.
Well, I feel like we need a Dirty Sports Masked Singer correspondent, though. Like, has Brady been revealed? I mean, we know Brady hasn't been revealed on the show. Why are there people that think this? Just because it's out there in the rumor mill?
I think someone started a Reddit. And that's what happened. And
I mean, I know at this point, and we just had Matty Goldberg on, so I don't want to set him off. But even with everything that Brady's accomplished in his career, do you sell a little bit on Brady if he took 2 weeks off from camp to be the Masked Singer?
Yeah, if it's true, I definitely sell a little. I mean, the person who started
You're just mad because Eli Manning couldn't win a Super Bowl and be on TV singing in a costume. Why you have to hate on him?
But again,
I'm just messing with you, Maddie.
Another show, though. I don't like.
Is it still is like Dr. Ken still the judge and like?
Yeah, and Kenny McCarthy and it's just like, oh, there's a celebrity behind this mascot and they're singing. Like, we are so stupid. We are so stupid. And by the way, I'm not a brain surgeon. I'm not saying I'm out there curing cancer because I'm an idiot too. But like, I don't know. At this point in my life, the thought of like spending my time being like, who's the person singing?
I just don't even understand how it's that's the part that's so frustrating about even just like working in fucking the business. It's like, hey, I got a really good idea for a show. And they're like, is it horribly stupid? And can we push Jenny McCarthy on people for no reason?
Yeah. And for the record, I used to love her. Like when she was on Singled Out, when she was in Playboy, Jenny McCarthy was one of my first like major crushes at like the age 14. Like when you're hitting puberty and you're starting to actually get real boners, you know, and you can jack off. Like the boners of 414 are kind of like, you know, they're like kid boners. You're like getting man boners. Like Jenny McCarthy was my girl. I loved her. I was,
and you don't tune in.
Look, and I don't like dislike, like my thing. I don't really know. I don't like dislike Jenny McCarthy, but my point is, she's not bringing me to watch a show with Ken Jeong and whatever judges to decide who's singing. Like that doesn't. I just don't like, give me the appeal. And by the way, I hate the term guilty pleasure. I hate that. It's my guilty pleasure. No, you like it because you watch it. My mother used to always say that.
But I mean, guilty pleasure, that's what it means. You like it, but it would maybe popularly be something that one would feel shame about, and therefore you feel guilty about liking it.
But do you feel guilty? Do you? That's my point.
I mean, I don't know. I don't watch.
No, I'm saying
my guilty pleasure is heroin. So yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel guilty about it.
Like, does someone feel guilty when they're openly watching a show?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like,
I just want to know. I just want to, like, to me, this would be a great, and you know, to me, I'm not a Tom Brady. I am a little bit of a Tom Brady hater. I always say I'm not a Kobe hater.
You are.
I'm a little bit of a Tom Brady hater, but that's because he cheated. So, you know, you can't be in favor of guys who just blatantly spit in the face of the rules. He was a cheater, and he pretended he wasn't a cheater, even though his team got punished multiple times for cheating. So I'm a little bit of a Tom Brady hater, but for a guy who kind of always wanted to see the demise of Tom Brady, I'd love to see the Bucks go, 9-8 this season after Tom Brady is the fucking Sasquatch on The Masked Singer.
Well, we don't know.
A nice end of we don't know, but at some point the singer must be unmasked, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh my God, it wasn't Tom Brady at all. It was Wonder Years' Fred Savage. We did not see that coming."
No, he got me too, man. And then, he's not doing it.
Oh, did Fred Savage get me too?
Oh yeah, he got popped in the last like.
Fred was doing some bad things. Fred was being extra savage.
They call him Fred Savage for a reason. Yeah, he got clipped in the movement. He was one of the many.
Movement.
I mean, he was one of the many who got hit. I do think it's a bad look if true. I do, but whatever. The season's around the corner. We're less than 3 weeks away.
Meanwhile, Gronk's on a UFC cast. He's like, "It's crazy. Tom and we almost went to the fucking Raiders. Tom was gonna play quarterback as the Sasquatch. It was gonna be ridiculous. Ken Jeong, we were gonna sign him as a slot guy."
Gronk was on The Masked Singer.
But then Gruden came in and fucked it up.
Gronk was on The Masked Singer.
Yeah,
that's part of like the rumors.
Meanwhile, Gruden's like, I just couldn't figure out who Brady was going to throw the Sasquatch uniform on, make it out like I'm the bad guy. It's
crazy, but maybe I can see the Gruden choosing Derek Carr.
Yeah,
over Brady. So. Since last Thursday, Albert Pujols has gone yard 3 times.
It's unbelievable, Andy. It's amazing. I swear to God that there's almost like a part of me that believes like you've got a little Stranger Things going on where like while you're asleep, the sports gods will like implant weird hot takes in your brain. Like you almost refuse to talk baseball at this point, and then you just came into an episode last week and you're like, Albert Pujols isn't going to get 700. And I'm like, where does this come from? You're just like, I don't know. Just thought it should be said. Meanwhile, home run.
Look, I said I want him to get 700.
We're in like mid-August. You started talking NFL exclusively in mid-June. Suddenly on an August episode, you just go, Hey, just before we get to some other stuff, I don't think Albert Pujols is going to get 700 home runs.
No, I said I thought no way because he was 11 short and he's not playing as many games this year.
Yeah.
He's in his 22nd year. I just thought no way. Now, going yard 3 times that quickly, that's going to help. So he's at 692. It's still going to be really tough. He's got to go yard 8 times.
Saying it, dude. He's going to go yard 8 times before our Miller Lite ad on Thursday.
Again, I hope he does.
Yeah, I hope he does too.
It'd be really cool to have somebody reach 700 again.
But you don't think it's going to happen?
No way. I
Great.
still say no way. He is really playing well in the second half of the season. Now the Cardinals are too. They're really growing that lead in Milwaukee. They've won 7 in a row. And I think I picked the Cardinals to make the World Series. It was like my underdog pick.
Always a fun pick because they're always in the mix. Remarkably well-run franchise.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now, on the other side of things, Marcell Ozuna gets a DUI.
Yeah.
Plays, gets booed by fans. How many times are we going to say this? If you have millions of dollars, why are you not paying a ride share or a personal driver?
Because we learned when we saw the video of his arrest why they don't, because he literally thought rolling down the window and going, "I am Ozuna from the Braves" was enough. So these guys literally think that can do it. Not to mention, if you're Marcell Ozuna, maybe don't do that during years where you suck. I am Ozuna from the Braves. Yeah, that's why we pulled you over. We're trying to arrest you to keep you out of the lineup. We didn't even think you were drunk. We just ran your plate, saw it was you, and we're trying to put you in the clink so that you can stop striking out every game. Also, I love Braves fans. Braves fans don't give a shit. Braves fans were booing him because he stinks. Like he could beat their own mothers and drive drunk, into his place in the outfield, provided he was hitting.
I haven't watched the video. I'm gonna play it right now.
How you doing, man?
Bajo la letra.
Huh?
Sorry.
You're good. I'm Officer Bull, Norcross Police. You got your driver's license?
I'm Ozuna from the Braves. Sorry, my dog.
It's all right. Hey, the reason I'm stopping
Did he say sorry, my dog?
Yeah.
you were speeding on this road, boss man.
Really?
Yeah, you're going pretty fast.
No.
You know what the speed limit is?
No, bro.
Wait, did he hand an ID, a Braves ID?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna rewind this. I think he hands him a Braves ID.
I just love the idea that he has like a translator in the locker room and he goes out for the night. He's like, "Okay, bye," and he's like, "Marcell, just remember this. Can you repeat this? I am Ozuna from the Braves. If anything happens, just say I am Ozuna from the Braves."
This is amazing.
Okay, I am Ozuna from the Braves. Sir, you're drunk. I am Ozuna from the Braves. Broncos country, let's ride.
Road, boss man.
Really?
Yeah, you're going pretty fast. You know what the speed limit is?
Dude, he did.
45.
Sorry.
45, man. Yeah. You also failed to maintain
handed
your
him his
lane when I
baseball card?
passed you.
Joe, he handed him his MLB
Do you want
ID.
me to sign? Do you want me to sign it? I am Ozuna from the Braves. No, I know. I got that.
Yeah, he
I
gave
am
him.
Ozuna from the Braves. I'm Ozuna from the Braves. I am Ozuna from the Braves.
So he
Let's
gave
ride.
He gave him his driver's license with his MLB ID. I mean, here's the thing though. Smart move.
Yeah.
Hey, look, dude. I legit play for the Braves. Here's my ID. Let me off.
This baseball card says your OPS last year was 237. Unfortunately, we're going to charge you with murder.
I think that's one that it's funny. Like people just get slapped on the wrist for. Like when it comes to penalties with sports leagues, I think they should be harder on that. Like just for stupidity.
Yeah.
Like if you're that dumb to drive while drunk and you have that much money, and how easy it is now. This is unbelievable. I can't believe he did that. I'm Ozuna from the Braves.
I'm here for all negativity in Braves land. I'm hating the Braves fans these days. Just hating.
That's always been the Mets' number one rival, though, right?
I mean, obviously in the last 30 years, the Braves have been dominant in the NL East. Obviously, the long run of 20 straight fucking titles and whatever. But so yeah, I mean, obviously we hate Philly as well. We've been rivals with the Nationals over the years, but yeah, I mean, the Braves have just been the kings. But that's kind of what annoys me the most about them. You finally did it. You finally won a World Series after all those titles and all the choking. Your second title in Atlanta last year, matching the Mets number of titles in New York. I know we're a horribly deficient franchise and you guys are glorious and you finally matched us in titles last year. So that's a confusing statement, but I know we're trash and you guys are elite, but I've just never seen a franchise you just won the World Series. Why are you even thinking about the Mets? You just won the World Series.
Well, yeah,
so insecure. So insecure.
Well, I think most sports fans are. People get cocky. I mean, I saw it. Dude, I mean, fans. We talked about it last episode, and fan bases and how ridiculous they are. I saw, and I didn't respond. Did you see somebody tweeted at us? I don't know if were you tagged in that.
I think so. It was from a Ravens fan.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just funny. It was from a Ravens fan about the Ray Lewis being like he was
there when it happened.
Dude, you were there when a murder happened. And by the way, that's just not like that. That's just half the story. Again, he had a white bloody suit, which is just gone. It's just never been seen before. It disappeared. Like
it's inside the Masked Singer costume with Tom Brady. That's where they've been hiding it.
That'd be great,
sir. Thank you for coming to Baltimore Harbor dry cleaning, but I'm not sure we can get this blood out of the suit. I am Ray Lewis from the Ravens. Okay. I am Ray Lewis from the Ravens. Yeah.
He was just there when it happened.
Yeah.
Root for Lamar and the Ravens, you cowards. No. Like,
yeah. Why?
No.
Respectfully and disrespectfully? No. Why?
No.
By the way, it's so funny. I've talked about it so much lately because I feel like I just finally got to the heart of this. It's like the overrating, underrating thing really just like it's really at the heart of everything. It's like Lamar Jackson's great. Good for you guys. If you guys like him, then fucking go for it. Stop going around screaming that he's the fucking league MVP every year and how we should respect him and how good he got. Like, if he's that, then just win, man.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Sure.
You think I give a fuck what happens in Ravens land? Make fucking Lamar Jackson your quarterback. Make Samuel L. Jackson your quarterback. I don't give a shit who your quarterback is. Make it fucking Joe Flacco. Make it Waka Flocka. I don't give a fuck who plays quarterback for the Ravens. If you guys are happy with Lamar Jackson.
Great cover band. Waka Flocka Flacco.
Yeah. You could be. I don't give a. I literally don't give a fuck if Ken Jeong from the Masked Singer is the quarterback of the Ravens. I don't give a single fuck about the Ravens.
Love to see that.
So if you guys love Lamar Jackson, why are you trying to? Why do I have to love him?
It's because they think he doesn't get respect. And again, it definitely turned into a racial issue, whether it's fair or not. I don't know. But I'd argue there's plenty of black quarterbacks in the league that definitely get respect, or you could argue are over-respected or overrated, so to speak. Then again, it would come into the argument, well, like Mahomes is biracial. I mean, I'm staying out of that, but I don't know. I think that's what it is. No,
Is Russell Wilson biracial, or does he just act white?
I don't know.
Deshaun Watson has been accused of raping 30 sexually assaulting 30 people. Everybody's like, he's pretty good though.
That's right.
That's right.
Hey man, I think this is a make or break year for Lamar. We'll see. Right now, gun to my head, I'd say the Bengals win that division. I mean, I've joked and talked trash before, but like all things aside, I think
I could see the Ravens winning that division. No doubt about it. I could see the Ravens winning that division. I can't see the Ravens playing in the Super Bowl.
No.
So it's just me.
Well, here's a good question as we enter into the season. Because we talk about these young quarterbacks, especially in that division. Game-winning drive on the line. Who are your top 10 quarterbacks? I'm not even talking, just who you think your top 10. Game-winning drive on the line. Does he make your top 10?
Probably not.
Exactly. And come playoffs, that's all that matters. Game-winning drive on the line in his division. Him or Deshaun Watson? Maybe a toss-up?
Maybe. Both behind Burrow and Kenny Pickett.
You're riding that Kenny Pickett train, huh?
I do like Kenny Pickett. Listen, I've been talking about this. I've been kind of hating the Steelers, and I have loose ties to the Steelers, you know what I mean? But I've been kind of hating the Steelers all these years because of Roethlisberger, and it's like nice to be able to like root for the Steelers a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna play a call. So somebody's already wanting to make a bet with me based on last episode.
What's up, guys? Corbin from Colorado here calling in. I'm just listening to Thursday's episode, and Andy is already taking the Chargers to win the AFC West. Now, I'm a Chiefs fan, so of course I'm in the AFC West news a lot. I see everything that gets done around. And I swear, for the past 5 years, the Chargers are going to win the AFC West. Even with Phillip Rivers and the squad that they've had, they say they're going to win the AFC West. Now they've got Justin Herbert, and they're going to win the AFC West. And it's never happened. The Chiefs have won the AFC West since like 2015. Ain't nothing changing. So if Andy wants to put some money on the line, throw $100 on the winner of the AFC West, because I'm still taking the Chiefs. Stay dirty.
And then the train picked him up.
Yeah.
What was that at the end? Dude, were you on a ride from Colorado to Kansas City?
Yeah. Are you a hobo?
So
do you have a bandana with all your stuff tied to a stick?
Oh, why was that always a thing in cartoons? How much stuff can you fit in a bandana on a stick? Who doesn't take a bag? What kind of representation is that? What can you hold in a stick? A sandwich? What's wrong with these idiots? So a couple things. One, I disagree with you that everyone's been picking the Chargers. I don't think anyone picked the Chargers the last couple years, to be honest. Obviously, Herbert was drafted. Nobody expected, I think, him to be as good as he's been. I'm picking them. I will not bet you. Straight up. I don't have that much faith.
I mean, that division is going to be crazy.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's not a single team in the division I couldn't see winning it.
Exactly. I could see any team winning it. And it is the Chiefs to take because they have won it, like you said, so many years in a row. And until someone dethrones them, I think the Chargers win the division. I think it's a bunch of 10-7, 9-8. Maybe the division winner gets 11 wins. I'd be shocked if the division winner had more than 11 wins. I'd be shocked. But the truth is, even for Patrick Mahomes, and obviously Mahomes is great, this is kind of an interesting year for him because he struggled mightily at times last year. For him, again.
No Tyreek Hill.
No Tyreek Hill. You had a bad playoff game. You call it what you want. How many touchdowns were they up on the Bengals in that game, Joe?
Yeah.
2.5 touchdowns. You didn't do anything in the second half. Anything. So I just think I think it's a big year for them, and I like Herbert. I still think that the Chargers win the division, but I don't want to bet. I don't have that much confidence. So I don't know. We'll see. I just think that's such a stacked division.
Now, what if he came back to you with this, Andy? Let me just throw this out there, because I like dirty sports bets, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but I'd be interested to hear your take on this. What if he came back to you and said he'll give you the field versus the Chiefs straight up? Would you bet that?
Ooh. Yeah, probably. Because then the odds just shifted in my favor, big time.
But I'm just wondering how confident Chiefs fans are, because like I said, I could see any team winning that division. I could even see Broncos country riding. I could even see lack of limits. I could see Mr. Unlimited. I could see Derek Carr with Gronk and Gronk's brother and Gronk's dad with Gruden as the masked coordinator. But I wonder how confident Chiefs fans are. They're just going to win the division. It's our division. Everybody in this division got better, but it's still ours.
I think Chiefs fans, from what I've seen, I think they're extremely confident still. And that's fine. You have a great quarterback. You've won the division this many years in a row. We'll see him without Tyreek Hill. If it affects him that much, I don't know.
There's certainly no history of Andy Reid just totally losing his touch.
No, I think he's a great coach. So you guys should be good. But I've seen upgrades. All those other teams upgraded. Like the Broncos were still a adequate team last year. They gave a better quarterback. The Chargers upgraded all around, especially defensively. Their defense was terrible last year. And if I'm the Chargers, I do what you were saying last year. And I was reading somebody saying that. Whatever number they think is I saw a tweet like that. I think it was I forget who it was. It was basically saying whatever number, I think Lombardi's their offensive coordinator, whatever number of deep passes he thinks he should throw, he should multiply that by 2 every game.
Yeah.
Because Herbert throws such a nice deep ball, and they have the receivers to catch it.
I heard a story. So there's a bar here. It's called the Lucky Beaver. It's 24 hours. It's open 24 hours. They serve really good burgers, really good. I had a steak there last night. It was delicious. 24-hour bar. I heard during the golf tournament, Travis Kelce was there every night till 7 a.m. And then he would go home to his room and still somehow golf at like 9. And apparently the secret is like chugging pineapple. He would go out and then chug pineapple juice. This is just rumors and hearsay. But apparently leaving Lucky Beaver regularly at 7 a.m.
Wow.
So
you think he does it? You think he parties? I don't think you think he parties during the season.
I don't know.
I think it's
maybe he goes hard in the off season.
Yeah. Well, he for sure goes hard in the off season. I mean, Kelce's really building a pretty impressive statistical career at this point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's tracking as maybe the best receiving tight end of all time.
Gonzalez just has such longevity in the numbers.
Yeah.
It'd be tough to beat. So Dennis Rodman is going to free Brittney Griner now. I don't know if you saw that.
Great.
He's going to go to Russia.
It's great. I like that Dennis Rodman is just like our fucking communist correspondent. Like whenever,
right?
Yeah. Whenever we need help with a dictator, we send in Dennis Rodman. I look forward to being like, I remember when you were wearing dress. He's like, yeah, I wore a dress one time. Yeah. So can we get this bitch out of here? What's going on? You're like, okay. what are we doing?
Well, it's
Like,
not
what-
being. It's
like, I
not.
don't-
This
I just
isn't like
don't
a.
even
This isn't like a.
understand it.
This isn't like a sanctioned. This isn't like. It's not. This isn't like the Biden administration is saying.
So
hey,
who's sending him?
Rodman's going.
Who's sending him?
Dennis is going like on his own. I think. Dude, he's the. I mean, he's nuts. He said, I got permission to go to Russia to help that girl. I'm trying to go this week. He is more likely to hurt than help, said a senior Biden administration official. Yeah, they're not like, we're not sending him. Rodman's just like, hey, man.
Okay. I'm going to go.
I'm hopping on a plane to Moscow tomorrow. Let's see if we can set up this meeting with, Putin. Make it happen. We'll play a game of horse. I beat her. She leaves. He beats me. I have to stay.
Or just Putin's just shooting around and Rodman and Brittney Griner are just rebounding for him.
I wonder if we'll get to meet Putin, though. He's already met him before. Of course he has.
Yeah.
In fact, his
Putin's a star fucker.
Well, they all are. That's what's so fascinating about all this stuff. All these countries
Putin definitely watches The Masked Singer.
Oh, for sure. So he took a trip there in 2014, Rodman, and he called Putin cool. Of all the words you would use to describe Vladimir Putin, I would never use the word cool.
I hope it works. I would love it
if
Dennis Rodman came back with Brittney Griner.
How funny would that be?
Just them getting off the plane together.
And to be honest, I wouldn't even be that shocked. Like we live in such a wild everyday South Park episode. I wouldn't be shocked if he came back with Brittney Griner. Like nothing would surprise me at this point. I mean, he used to hang with Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
Like legit hang with him. Like your boy you're visiting. Like that's your old college buddy. Like his old college buddy is Kim Jong-un. You're like, what? You're going to Kim Jong-un's house for the next few weeks? Yeah, man, we're chilling. Play some video games, smoke some weed, get some girls. Like that's his college buddy.
Yeah.
Man,
they're just kicking around, causing mayhem. Like, fucking Kim Jong-un definitely has like the Dukes of Hazzard car. They're just fucking driving around North Korea. You get pulled over. He's like, I'm Kim Jong-un of the dictator. They're like, oh, of course. Sorry, sir.
I got to bring something
This is Dennis
up.
Rodman, Marcell Ozuna.
I want to bring something up, which I texted you about last night, because it has to be said on Dirty Sports. Because I want to get some takes. I want to get some opinions from DirtBalls. And then we'll get to DirtBall calls. Because I know we have some mailmen that listen to the show. I know for a fact.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you brought this up last night. I can't wait. Let's go.
I know your opinion on this. So Roscoe yesterday was maced by a mailman. He is a 16.5-pound multi-poo, 11 and a half years old. So he's a small dog. Now, for the record, he can get real barky, and I would, maybe let's use the word aggressive, but it's small dog energy. You had a small dog. I would see that sometimes from Vince. You would see it, right? The small dog energy.
Skateboards.
Yeah. And he's the same way with skateboarders and bikers, and it's small dog energy worked up. I did not see it happen. I came home, not sure why mailmen are delivering something on a Sunday. Very confusing. Not the regular mailman. So I came home, I opened the garage door, I run into one of the bathrooms to pee. We have to leave right away to go to my girlfriend's parents' house for dinner. And so he runs out the door. He's obviously not on a leash or, electric fence or anything. And he was out there for maybe 20 seconds. So he ran out the garage door and probably ran to the front yard. And I hear him barking. And then I go to pick him up, Joe, to put him in the car to go to her parents. And he's got orange film on his back. I'm sorry. Before that, he's trying to like rub his face in the grass. And then I go to pick him up and there's just an orange coat covering his back. And I go, what is this? And then we take him inside and we wash him off. And probably within 5 minutes of driving to her parents, he couldn't open his eyes, and one eye.
Now, how did you know? Was there any confirmation that this is what happened?
Well, that's a good question. We're like 99% sure.
Right. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but I'm just wondering if the mailman was like, I dropped off your Bed Bath & Beyond coupons. I also maced your dog.
No, we don't have that confirmation. We have the mailman. We have the mailman driving away. He clearly must have got. I live in a homeowners association. So all the mailboxes are up the top of the street. So he had to have been delivering something to somebody's door. We live in a cul-de-sac. So I kept thinking, she said to me on the drive, I think the mailman maced him. And I just, Joe, I didn't even want to entertain it. I go, that's crazy. I said, Google animal. I go, we're by woods too. And I don't know what animals spray, whether I know a skunk wouldn't spray that, but I was like, Google orange film. I was like, I kept saying he got sprayed by something. Some animal felt threatened. I don't know if an opossum or one of those. I don't know if they can spray stuff or other animals. I'm not an animal expert.
Do you think that there's like fucking Predator from fucking the Schwarzenegger movie Living in the Woods? Is this a fucking sci-fi film? This is just like one of the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park lives in the woods and is shooting poisonous spray out its mouth at small dogs.
I don't know. Again, orange film. His eyes aren't opening. So
possums? I don't know if possums can shoot orange mace.
I don't know, man. I didn't know. So I said, Google it.
All your nature documentaries, you're unsure whether or not fucking possums have mace breath.
I usually watch documentaries of different countries, like I haven't been to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway, she is like, I think this is the mailman, man. He was driving off, and then she Googles that mace is orange, and it leaves that film. And then we had taken him inside, but we didn't know the degree. We would have thoroughly washed him. We just washed him in the sink real quick. And also, we have a ton of shit in our garage, right? Like a ton of shit right now because we just moved in. So it's like, did he bite something? Did he get into something and something? So we have all these things. We obviously would have just completely cleansed him had we known. So anyway, we go to her parents. We stop. We get some stuff. We clean him out. He ends up being all right, but like it took hours. There's no other conclusion at this point than that he was maced, right? The mailman was seen leaving. We heard him bark.
Yeah. Right.
It's not our normal Monday through Friday mailman. So my question is this, and I went and it says on the website for the United States Postal Office, and I sent it to you. It's like that they can use that if they feel threatened. But I would counter this with like, how threatened did you feel? And I know, by the way, I'm trying to understand from the mailman's perspective. Like, you're in a shitty position. You deal with dogs all day. This little shit dog comes running at you. I'm just hypothetically creating the situation. I don't know exactly what happened, but I do know where I used to live in my parents' house, the mailman had little treats. And something kind of similar, I was doing yard work and he got out and he tossed Roscoe a treat and then he chilled. So my thing is like, shouldn't the mace be the last resort, especially for a tiny dog?
Well, I'll tell you what my reaction would have been. I would have called the police. And you know me, I don't call the police if I don't have to. And I would have said, I need to report a murder. And they would have been like, what? I was like, tomorrow I'm going to murder my mailman. So if you guys want to be here for like a pre-crime situation, but just know that I'm going to fucking murder this dude. You mace a 16-pound dog, you're catching hands, dude.
Right,
I'm
like,
now in a war. I'm now in a war with that mailman. If I'm you, I'm gonna be
that's
like,
what
okay,
that's what I'm thinking. Like I don't know. The opinions have been mixed. Like because you go to their website and again, they basically, I mean, it's on the United States Post Office website using dog repellent, questions and answers about dog repellent. And they basically say that, it is approved even by the Dog Humane Society and in certain instances, because I know mailmen being attacked by dogs, I know that's an issue. I'm not saying that that's not an issue. But I also think the circumstance, right? Like you have an older, small dog, like you're using mace.
yeah, dude. When homie's like, yeah, I maced 3 Maltipoos and a Chihuahua today. They're like, bro.
Like, what if you got seriously blinded by that? I mean, he was jacked up for hours.
This is definitely a light blue lives matter type of situation. Safari hat lives matter.
I mean, I'm trying to see this rationally, and obviously I have feelings, emotional connection, but like I'm more. I
would definitely give the guy 3 to 4 seconds between punches to let him try to explain himself.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I met our new mailman, really nice guy. And it's not this guy. So he introduced himself to me and he's like, I'm going to get you some new keys. And he was cool. I'm going to ask him. I'll see him sometime this week. And I'll say to him, I'm like, hey man, who's delivering mail on Sunday? And I'll ask him like, dude, what's the protocol for you guys? And I'm like, dude, you've seen my dog. He's a tiny, again, he can be a little asshole with his barking and those sort of things, but he's a 16-pound dog.
Also, honestly, the idea that a mailman maces his dog and doesn't tell you is kind of ridiculous. Hey, your dog bit me and I had to spray him with this fucking dog repellent. Your dog bit me and I gave him 1 shot of the repellent just so you know why your dog's covered with orange shit.
I agree. And to me, that's part of this. It's like, dude, if you knocked on the door and we're like, hey man, I'm delivering a package next door across the street, and this thing came running at me, and just said like, dude, I turned around, I didn't know the size of your dog, I sprayed, I got some in his face, I got some on his back. Like I'd be like, okay, dude, fair enough. But he drove. I saw him when I got out of the bathroom. I saw him driving off around the corner of our cul-de-sac and going off. So he didn't make any effort to stop, and there's no other explanation. Like you said, unless there's a velociraptor or some sort of Jurassic Park animal living in the side yard or the backwoods, there's no other explanation than he got maced. And no one else was around. So like nobody did that. And my neighbors wouldn't do that. The reason I'm bringing this up, I've never heard of this. Like, has anybody else had their dog maced by a mailman? I've never heard of this. Again, to me, this is like the last resort sort of thing.
I've never heard of this either. And now I want to know the answer to the questions because, like, I don't have a whole lot to do at the moment. And I have no problem going full vigilante and traveling the country, murdering postmen who have maced dogs. Like fucking Steve Buscemi in Billy Madison. Like, I'm putting on the lipstick and crossing off names. Like, let's fucking go, dude. This is a thing. I mean, it's enough of a thing where it's on their website.
Yeah. And I'm just like you, Joe. I was surprised. And I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, how many, like, that's why I'm putting this out there. I think we have some dirtballs. If you don't feel comfortable calling the show, I respect that. DM me on Twitter or Instagram. I'm wanting to know like how big of a problem this is. Cause to me, this is a,
I mean, the idea that you're driving around in an old World War II Army Jeep and you're not prepared for combat seems crazy to me.
To me, this is a very ridiculous response. I felt like I made the joke yesterday at dinner. I was like, I want to go full Liam Neeson. You know, like, I will find you.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Dude, at least knock and be like, dude, I felt threatened. I'd still be pissed, but at least you owned up to it.
Yeah.
You maced an adorable 16-pound dog.
Roscoe stumbling in, still in a mace haze.
It's unbelievable. I don't know. I'm getting, you know, I'm getting something slid under the door. I don't know. Does Roscoe have opposable thumbs now? So you think, and then we'll go to some dirtball calls and wrap up the show, but you think this is completely egregious and ridiculous that this would happen.
I just had my phone out. I was looking at flights to Cincinnati so we could hunt a postman. What are we fucking talking about here?
Well, we'll see. Again, I would love anyone who's had any experience with this, whether they were a postman or sadly, if it happened to their dog. Joe, I've never heard this my entire life. And obviously you and I have, dude, we're in our 40s. Like the amount of dogs we've been around or owned, or I've just never heard this of a thing.
I'm just upset even to have said the word mace multiple times and not in reference to feel so good.
Can't stop. Won't stop. I feel you. Okay, let's get to some dirtball calls. 310-359-8365. Free Roscoe. That's going to be the title of this segment. Calling in with a little mellow. What a mellow take, a different mellow take they want from you.
Okay.
Joe and Andy, Matt from Pittsburgh here. First time caller, long time listener.
Yeah.
Hey, after listening to that last episode, I feel like I have maybe the only realistic take on being a defendable Carmelo fan. And I think it's unique, so let me explain. I graduated from Syracuse University, 2003. The year Syracuse basketball won the national title, Carmelo was a freshman and starring the team. So imagine being a senior in college and your school wins the national title in either football or basketball. It was incredible. And I was also on the rowing team in college, so we all mixed with the other, student athletes. And, that really made the national title that much more special. So I'm from Pittsburgh. We don't have an NBA team. So the professional basketball version of Carmelo really didn't do anything to harm me personally. So I absolutely agree with all the takes on Carmelo's professional career, but I'm still a fan because of what he did at Syracuse. And I'm especially interested to hear Joe's take on this, as he's a New York guy and he has spoken favorably of Syracuse in the past. So I can really imagine a young Joe Crano, fresh out of college, watching that 2003 NCAA tournament and taking on Syracuse as his team, actively rooting for Carmelo as they advanced and made their way to the Final Four. So let me know what you guys think. Condoms are for City of Cleveland. Never forget, your football team is an expansion team. Thanks, guys.
So there's a lot of layers to that. Thanks for the call. Always great to hear from first-time callers. A lot of layers to that. I mean, essentially, the most important one, and, he was open and honest about it, which is the NBA means nothing to him. So, it kind of doesn't change the fact, it's almost like being a Buffalo Bills fan and being like, but OJ was just so good for us. It's like, but we're just going to pretend what happened after didn't happen. Like what? Like, yeah, I get it. I mean, listen, I don't live in Southern California. I'm not a blonde woman. The 2,000-yard rushing season, it was a big deal here in Buffalo. And you're like, I get it. But he murdered some people. So hold on one second. Where am I at? 10%. I get 10% of battery. Hopefully it doesn't run out in the moment, or else I'm gonna have to plug this thing in real quick. So the thing with Carmelo is, first of all, I think Carmelo was great for that Syracuse team. And that was awesome. And it was a fun championship run. And I did root for them. The one thing is when you look back on what all that came after, I think that what you should be left with is a even further appreciation of Jerry McNamara, even further appreciation of Jim Boeheim, Hakeem Warwick, all the people that went on it, because what we've learned is Carmelo alone is worthless. Now, you can be one player who's an elite scorer and, go very far in college basketball. We've seen guys do that. But for them to have run it and won that championship, like, have a little respect that there was actually a coach that got the right shit out of Melo, that there was teammates who were able to coexist with maybe the most selfish basketball player we've ever seen. So yeah, Carmelo, nobody has ever doubted Carmelo's talent, and on the college level, talent alone and just being better, being an NBA quality, being an elite NBA scorer while in college, you can carry a team essentially. But you should come away with it being like, man, Jim Boeheim, he got the best out of Melo. Wow. Look at what happened. Look at Jerry McNamara's career after Melo left. Also exceptional college basketball player. Have a little bit of appreciation for the other guys who were able to, yes, ride Melo to a championship, but be a big, big part of it.
That was a fun team. Well, let's not forget. I mean, how many threes did McNamara have in the final game? Remember?
Yeah.
When he just went off. I mean, the final game, especially in the first half, I believe they were playing Kansas. That was a fun team to watch. And I remember that. So I was a junior in college at St. Louis University. And I was also rooting for Syracuse. I agree. They were a fun team to watch, especially when.
And don't forget that Hakeem Warwick blocked to end the game.
Yeah.
Kansas had a shot to win it at the end, or to tie, I think.
Yeah, no, and you're right. I mean, that's to me, I wasn't following as closely back then. I'm in college, I'm partying, all those things. All I knew was Melo. And then you start watching games in the tournament. They had
And of course you watch, but then of course, just watching the next couple of years of Jerry Mack.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I mean, one of the greatest college basketball moments ever was the Boeheim McNamara press conference.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, they had a squad for sure. Okay, we got a call. I'm gonna play this, and then I'm gonna play the clip that he sent me to put it in context. Call from longtime Dirtball, Steve. But we haven't heard from Steve in a while. Steve from the OC.
All right. It's been a minute. Steve Stoner, Dirtball from OC, you former live gatherer of Diane the Fan and Kate Sniglia. All right. I haven't called in a minute, but I'm watching ESPN, and they're doing, the normal Sports Center recap. And they do this, respectful thing for Luke Knox, brother of Dawson Knox. And then they transition into another story, and Neil Everett just goes, oh, well, not to be Bob Dylan, but I'm going to take you back to Kansas City. And they roll into highlights of the NFL Kansas City Washington Commanders game. And it's like, bro, you just did an in memoriam. Could you express a little tact and not, I don't know, try to make a really shitty SNL pun or fucking Daily Show pun? Just say, oh, on a lighter note, we move into the NFL. And so my question is this, because this call has gone way too long, what's the worst ESPN transitional fucking announcement that you've ever heard where you're just like, what? That didn't make any sense. You just had a shooting death, and then you transitioned into a 106-yard return dash touchdown. Anyways, condoms are for fucking Rob Manfred, always.
So I'm going to play it. It's pretty awkward. Again, they're going from the Bills highlights to Kansas City highlights. So he DM'd it to me.
Well, the Bills held a moment of silence to honor the life of Luke Knox, who passed away at the age of 22 Wednesday. He was the younger brother of Bills tight end Dawson Knox. Dawson thanked fans for their support. The cause of death has not been released. Luke Knox spent 4 seasons at Ole Miss before transferring to FIU for what was said to be his 5th year.
I ain't no Bob Dylan, but we're going back to Kansas City. Check out the basement tapes. Chiefs and Commanders.
Bro. Here's my thing from a production angle. It's not easy to go from talking about someone dying. My advice would be either cut to commercial, right? Like that's where then they go to a commercial break.
Right.
They set the clips up differently. That's on the producer of the show. Or I agree, you make on a lighter note.
Yeah.
We're going to Kansas City for the Chiefs Commanders highlight.
Or, she did the report about that. It's like you reference it. Just reference it. Like terrible story. Like, thoughts and prayers to the Knox family.
Yeah. But yeah,
thoughts and prayers to anybody playing Pat Mahomes in the preseason because Kansas City rolled.
I definitely wouldn't make a Bob Dylan reference. And it was seamless.
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head. I think the best ever transition, as we know, is the Nick Castellanos.
Yeah.
Tom Brennan and Nick Castellanos.
I mean, it's referenced every day still. Every day.
I mean, that is one of the best transitions that there's ever been.
I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. And so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game. I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again. I don't know if it's going to be for the Reds. I don't know
you
if
are
it's going to be
in
for
Puerto
my
Rico.
bosses at Fox. I want to apologize for the.
I mean, that's just unbelievable what he did right there.
Yeah.
Look, it's not easy when you're talking about that stuff. I mean, so I don't know. Again, but I put more of that on the producer. Okay.
I like that Steve was fired up about it.
Oh, he was fired up.
It's great to hear from Steve.
Yeah, appreciate it, Steve. We got an offer for something, Joe. Me and you.
Oh,
a DirtBall extending a
invitation,
a little invite.
Let's go. Can't wait to hear it.
What's up, ESPN? It is Lagoy calling you live from the 315 with my boy Spin That Record, and throwing out a proposal to you and Ruther and Prano. Come to a Bills game, and I'll buy you guys tickets, and I'll put you up in Airbnb, and we'll rage, and we'll have a good old Buffalo time. Let's do it, boys. And that's it. Condoms are for people that buy ice cream at gas stations. Just go to a fucking ice cream parlor and don't hog the fucking lane or the fucking
these guys.
The one cashier
These the 315 crew.
Later.
So we appreciate that. So the offer is Bills tickets and the Airbnb.
Wow. I'm just looking at the schedule. I'm just trying to see who the Bills have at home and when. Lots of fun games. Bills have a fun schedule this year.
First place schedule right there, man.
Yeah.
They're gonna play a lot of good teams. It'll be fun.
Obviously, you already have a Bills game on your schedule. You're going to Bills at Bengals.
I'm trying to work on some Bills Bengals things with Randy Ruther.
But I mean, just a couple of weeks before that, the Bills have the Jets at home. Bills have the Dolphins at home a couple of weeks before that. Bills have the Browns at home. Bills have the Vikings at home. Bills have the Packers at home on Sunday Night Football. The day before Halloween.
Wow.
Andy Ruther dressed up as O.J. Mahomes in Buffalo for Halloween. Hey, y'all, I'm O.J. Mahomes.
I mean, we appreciate that. Why don't Joe and I will powwow on this?
It's a great offer. I'd love to accept it.
And that was a really interesting condoms are for people who go to the gas station to buy ice cream to clog up the lines.
Yeah. I do hate it whenever I'm like at a gas station and I have to go in, which for the record, like, can we do something about gas station machines that just like cannot figure out? Like, if I like, two things are going to make me really angry today. One, that a mailman maced your dog. And two, just the thought of seeing in that horrible digital font, "C cashier." No. Why?
You're right. Is there anything worse?
No, I refuse. I'll try my card 4 times before I fucking go to it. And then it's like, "C cashier."
I'll go to the next.
I'm gonna see my way to a different gas station.
Yeah, I know. I do not want to do the cashier. No, sir.
Now I gotta go and I gotta stand by some lady buying ice cream. And then I got to be like, "I don't know, dude. It told me to come see you. I got a fucking cryptic message from your machine outside that I got to come talk to you personally." C cashier.
Yeah, I know.
See me steal gas.
That's a good condoms are for. Condoms are for the C cashier. That's one of the worst, like, first world problems, but it's so annoying.
See me leaving, bitches.
Bye forever.
I'm going Andy's fucking mailman. You're gonna catch me round in the corner.
All right, you got to get out of Airbnb, and I got some things I got to hop on as well. That'll be the show today. So those will be the calls: 310-359-8365.
What a great show. Sorry it was short today, Andy. But
right.
we'll make it up on Thursday. But a reminder: not only do we have another podcast on Thursday, that'll be longer because I won't be trying to quickly escape a Airbnb, but also on Thursday I have my show at the Hollywood Improv, Joe Prano and Acquaintances. If you're in the greater Los Angeles area, or if you're willing to drive from outside the greater Los Angeles area, or I guess fly for that matter, you should come to that show. It's gonna be a great show. Me, Lachlan Patterson, Nate Craig, Sam Goldstein, Mary Romeo, Hollywood Improv Lab. Details on all of my social media, details on my website. All my social media is at Joe Prano. My website's joeprano.com, except for Twitter, where I'm still at Fix Your Life. Come to that show, or starting Monday through the following Sunday, the 29th to September 4th, I believe, I will be at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas. 2 shows a night for 7 consecutive nights in Vegas. If you're in and around the Vegas area, come to that. If you're going to be in Vegas, which DirtBall have already told me they are, hit me up. If you want to play some golf in Las Vegas, hit me up today. I'm going to go play Edgewood, Andy.
Nice.
All
right, guys. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Dirty Sports. I am on social at Andy Ruther. And please DM me or call the show for your thoughts on Roscoe Gate with the mailman. I'd love to hear from mailmen. I'd love to hear from people who maybe have been in a similar situation as myself. What do we do about this situation, guys? Please let me know. Okay, we'll be back in a few days. Much love to all you guys. Stay smart, stay safe, and also stay dirty.